Welcome back. A short day for the ARCA RE Series debut of Ricky Carmichael.
You can see all the damage to the right rear corner of that 33 car. Same thing that happened to Brian Scott earlier. Dale Jr. earlier just exploded. There's Kevin Harvick. He was on the backstretch watching over there. And
he was back there with all his friends, wasn't he?
Yeah. I'm going to tell him you said that, Kenny.
I'm sure he's pleased. Obviously, this is not the outcome he wanted, but he's got to be pleased with what he saw up to this point.
Ricky's goal today was to get approved by NASCAR to run a truck race at Daytona and to get some experience. I would have to give Ricky an A+ for the job that he did today.
You and I are going to prove him, right, Kenny?
Definitely.
So when they ask, it's been kid tested and Phil and Kenny approved. Take a look at what happened for the 33. The right rear tire is going to blow. He's running 6th right there.
Or Patrick Shelter did a great job avoiding him. A terrific job avoiding him. There's Terry Jones and Jeremy Clements making slight contact on the inside of the racetrack. There's Ricky Stenhouse. He's going to avoid. I'll tell you, Ricky did a great job. You see him. He's driving that thing the whole way. He's got the brakes locked up. Now he lets go of the brake so that thing straightens out. Really did exactly what you're supposed to do. Here's Matt Carter's on board. You see all the debris. I'm sorry, Frank Kimmel's on board. All the debris off of Ricky's car, and again keeps it out of the wall, keeps it from taking somebody else out of the racetrack. Nice job.
It's like a hand grenade when it goes off.
It's amazing. I mean, it's like a bomb.
Yes, it's huge.
Blowing out the entire right rear side of that race car, and now we would guess that Tom Hessert III has got to come on to pit road.
Huge break though for Tom Hessert, and it's going to be a break for those guys that topped off that may want to try to go the rest of the way, because these caution laps are going to give them just a little bit more insurance, so they may be in good shape. Like a Bobby Gerhart may be in perfect shape here.
We would guess we're going to see the hard left turn by the 1, and onto pit road they are coming. The 09 is going to follow. Looks as though the 20 also making his way. Justin Lofton will follow them down onto pit road.
Yeah, Justin's 3rd place car right now. Great job of him thus far.
John West Townley comes to a stop. It's going to be 2 tires only for this guy because they want to try and keep that track position. This is the first time John West Townley's raced at Talladega. Of course, he tested here. This hopefully will give him some momentum as he runs the nationwide race next week. He runs away, almost stalls it, right?
Boudreaux's Butt Pace is the sponsor on this Ford Fusion. Andy Belmont owns the team, and they've got a problem on the right front. They were not able to get the tire off for some reason. It was hung up, or they didn't get the jack up high enough. The fender is too tight, and they could not get the front tire off of there. It's going to be right side tires only for the 1. Jim?
Bobby Gerhart is down and away, but he didn't go up, actually. He just came in for fuel. They got the windshield wiped off clean for Bobby Gerhart. They did admit to themselves we had a bad calculation on fuel mileage, but Bobby Gerhart came in 14th. He kind of drifted back to mid-pack again. No adjustments, just fuel on Bobby Gerhart, who I believe now is set for the rest of the way officially by his team.
So Bill Gerhart has said, okay, you're good this time for sure. We've completed 52 of the 94 laps, so 42 remain in this one.
Really, everybody should be good on fuel. Everyone that stopped this time should be good on fuel. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the 99, did not come to pit road. Ricky pitted back on lap number 30, so I don't think 64 laps is an awfully long way, even though we've had some caution laps. Now, he was not one of the guys that topped off at the tail end of the most recent caution prior to this one, so they may be just figuring on making a 2-stop race.
We'll just have to see. I mean, you don't know with these things what everybody's thinking. We sure didn't know what the 1 car was thinking there for the longest time.
John Jackson actually in front of the field now in the 72, and it's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. that runs 2nd. 39, Mark Thompson running 3rd. The Aaron's lucky dog goes to Ben Stansel in the number 48. He will get a lap back.
One of the TRG cars has a teammate with Tim George Jr. Ben been running the Camping World East Series on occasion. You see he's got some damage to the right rear corner of that car. He was involved in an incident when Brian Scott blew out that right rear tire earlier.
It was early in the race in lap number 12. And so this was the 3rd caution. As you see the damage to the right rear of that race car. They've already put a new right side tire on. Now that they're going to work their way back into the garage area. Safety crews are going to clean up the debris, and this is why there is all the debris on the racetrack. 6th car back, the black number 33. There goes the right side tire. Sunday, it's your chance to give Jeff Gordon a piece of your mind. 4-time Cup champ Jeff Gordon joins Dave Despain on Wind Tunnel Set. Whether you agree, disagree, or just have an opinion, it's your turn to sound off on all the top stories in motorsports. Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain live Sunday 9 p.m. Eastern. Again, Jeff Gordon is going to be his guest.
Is there any form of motorsports that Dave Despain doesn't know something about?
Not that we know of.
I mean, we haven't found one yet.
Unbelievable wealth of knowledge.
I've seen lawnmower races, and I haven't heard him talk about that on Wind Tunnel, but I bet he would.
I bet he knows about it.
I bet he does. We want to look back at what has taken place up to this point. Obviously, we were past the halfway point. The start of the race, it was a difficult one for James Buescher. Now we found out third gear didn't work for him, and so you see him drop back rapidly. This is the start of the race. He stays on the inside of the racetrack and eventually loses the clutch.
Yeah, eventually knocks him out of the race. Here's one of the big wrecks early on, turn number 1. Brian Scott, that 25 car, blows out a right rear tire, takes out a number of cars and vaults a number of cars that have stayed on the racetrack. Some hard contact by some of these guys. Allie Owens, ladies. Another view of it right there. Ken Butler III making hard contact, as well as the 11 of Brian Silas.
Nothing most of them could do.
That was our first caution of the day. The second one came when we're going to take another look. The big one there. Brian Scott initiating that, but nothing he could do. The right rear tire blowing. The second caution came out when the 0-1 right front tire, that's Justin Marks in that car, it goes, and up into the wall he goes.
Yeah, the ConstructBuddy.com Toyota was running well up in the top 5, and away it went. And here's the 33 of Ricky Carmichael. Same story, right rear tire goes out. Fortunately, the only car involved in this one.
And one thing that's been impressive, and you hate to say that it's just been the tires, but we haven't really had any mental mistakes out there that we've seen somebody do something wrong and cause an incident. It's been tires.
We've had some mental mistakes. They just haven't caused
any incidents. Yeah. But no, the guys have done a good job. And a couple of those wrecks, even that first wreck, could have been bigger if some of the guys in the back weren't heads up. So been very proud of the way most of the guys have done today.
Yeah, and Justin Marks was running 5th when he blew out his right front tire, the only car involved. Ricky Carmichael running 6th when he blows his tire, nobody else involved. So these guys have really done a terrific job.
A lot of times what we'd see when the 5th place car had a problem was a knee-jerk panic back in 7th or 8th car and wind up getting more back there. And we haven't seen it. We've really seen the guys doing a good job today.
Championship contender Ricky Stenhouse Jr. stayed out on the racetrack. What's the story on that, Jim?
Well, he did stay out, and they're also worried about fuel a little bit. I just talked to crew chief Jeff Campy. Lumpy said, we're going to be close. They came in on lap 31. They're staying out. And right behind them is ARCA veteran Mark Thompson, who's been a fixture on super speedways here in the ARCA RE series over the course of years. Driving the Rulo brothers, number 39. This car has yet to finish outside the top 5 for Gary Rulo and the boys. They brought in a veteran here who said, wherever Ricky goes, I'll go with him. So they look for the 39 to stay glued to the rear bumper of the Aflac Ford for what is a point contending run for Ricky Stenhouse.
That's a big gamble, I would think, at this point in the race and this point in the season. Just one more race after this stop here at Talladega. We'll find out if it works for him. We'll be right back.